and now you've purchased this card and you basically have no money on it. You walk out the store thinking, hey, I activated it at the store. I paid the cashier. The cashier believes that it was already activated. But when you go to use it, or worst case scenario, you give it to a family member, they go to use it and they go, hey, I was trying to use the card. They said there's no money on it. Well, one of the reasons why is because there's this scam where there's a fake barcode put over a real gift card, and then that money never gets put onto the card. So that's just one. I mean, there are tons and tons. The People's Voice. Welcome back. Welcome back. This is The People's Voice. I am Trey Evans, and I am The People's Voice. Thank you again for checking out the podcast this week. As always, it is greatly appreciated. This week, I first of all want to say thank you to everyone who has been listening to the podcast, everyone who has been checking out the podcast. As always, it's greatly appreciated. If you are first time listening, please feel free to subscribe to the podcast. You can also subscribe to the podcast on any podcast platforms as well. You can subscribe on YouTube as well, as we also are available at YouTube. To subscribe, you can reach me at I am Trey Evans on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. That's the website. So as always, thank you to everyone who is listening and also watching on YouTube. It's greatly appreciated. So today I want to talk about holiday scams. And, tis the season, as they say, and it's this time of the year where holiday scams are really, really at their highest, right? You definitely get some during the kind of Black Friday season, November, Thanksgiving season, Black Friday shopping. But during the holiday season is when you see, during the Christmas season, I should say, is when you see the highest amount, especially here in the United States. So today what I want to do is talk a little bit about some of the holiday scams that are out there. And then, of course, as always, offer some solutions and recommendations on how to avoid them. And then, of course, how to avoid them, and then what to do in case you do become a victim of a holiday scam. So I think I'll just get right into it and kind of run down the list of the scams that are most likely to occur or have been occurring during the season, and kind of break them down a little bit, give some explanations behind them, and then we'll move the conversation forward. So I got this information, as always. I did research on a couple of sites, but this particular and regarding this particular topic, what I did was I went to Forbes.com and also to the Federal Trade Commission site as well. Yep, the Federal Trade Commission site, just to get information on some of the most common scams and what to do when this occurs. So going through the list, I'm just going to go through the list, and there's about 5. There's 15 that have been discussed, but I'm going to just kind of hit on 5 of them and then offer some recommendations and solutions to, again, like I said, recognize them and then avoid them if possible. So during the holiday season, one of the biggest scams, I guess the one that's most commonly occurring, well, it's kind of 1A, 1B, but we kind of do it, 1 and 2 for this particular podcast. But charitable giving is always, on the list of scams that occur. But during the holiday season, it really takes off to a whole nother level. And so what happens is Charitable giving scams can range anything from, people, I should say organizations sending you an email saying, hey, can you donate during the holiday season? It can be, can you purchase clothes for a organization for the kids or for homeless men and women. I mean, it really can vary. But here, reading from the site, when it's kind of explaining what charitable scams look like, it says that the charity scams can take place online and even over the phone, because oftentimes, especially during the holiday season, people are off. You're more likely to answer your phone, and this can be over your cell phone. Most of the time, it's landline for still people who have landline phones. But according to the Federal Trade Commission, scammers will rush people into making a donation or trick them by thanking them for the donation they never paid and then asking for payment. So one of the scams is you might get a call from a fraudulent scammer saying that they're with the Red Cross and that they want to, thank you for your donation last month towards their organization. Sometimes, and it occurs, you may have donated and forgot, or you might have something on automatic withdrawal that you donate to a certain organization, and it just so happens that you're not really thinking about it, right? They say, thank you for your donation. Would you be interested in donating again this month? And unbeknownst to you, you offer them your credit card. They take the money out, or in worst case, they now have your information, and then they can repeat the scam over and over again. So, but during the holiday season is when this mostly occurs. I should say during the holiday season is when you see an increase of this occurring. And so, you definitely want to be cognizant of that when you receive that call. Do your research. I always say, you get a call, there's no crime. I mean, no harm, no foul in saying, let me call you back. Let me get a number where I can call you back at, so you can kind of process that and think about it. But then there's also other online scams for charities where you'll get an email link saying, hey, you can donate here. You'll get a text on your phone saying, just send back, this information on the text, and then we can debit, take the funds right out of your account, or asking for banking information. There are varying ways that this can happen, but just to be aware, during this season, charitable scams happen a lot. So do your research, ask the questions. And like I said, if someone is calling you or sending you a text message or email and you're not familiar with it, I would say ignore it, or do your own research first before you go about donating money. So one of the first scams, and kind of the top scam during the holiday season, are scams for charity or charitable scams. The second scam that occurs often during the holiday season are gift card scams. And the gift card scams have gotten more and more elaborate as time has gone on. I mean, I was just reading a story where basically what they're doing now is that they'll go into a store, they'll put a fake barcode over the back of a gift card, okay? And then what ends up happening is you grab that gift card unbeknownst, right? It might be one of like a game gift card for, one of the game systems or whatever. And on the back of that card, the scammers have gone into the store and put a fake barcode over the real barcode. So now when the barcode is being scanned by the cashier or the retail person at the store that you're at where you're purchasing the gift card, they believe that they're activating the card, right? Because the screen is basically telling them that they're activating it. When you go and say, hey, put $50 on there, put $100 on there, thinking that the money is going on to the card, what it's actually doing, it's being sent to the card that the scammer has, right? Because they basically created a fake barcode. That money is now being electronically delivered or deposited onto their card or to their account, however they have that set up. And now you've purchased this card and you basically have no money on it. You walk out the store thinking, hey, I activated it at the store. I paid the cashier. The cashier believes that it was already activated. But when you go to use it, or worst case scenario, you give it to a family member, they go to use it and they go, hey, I was trying to use the card. They said there's no money on it. Well, one of the reasons why is because there's this scam where there's a fake barcode put over a real gift card, and then that money never gets put onto the card. So that's just one. I mean, there are tons and tons and tons. Another one, and I'm reading here again from the Forbes magazine article that kind of detailed holiday scams. It says a common gift card scam includes scammers telling people to pay a fee with a gift card to avoid being in trouble with the government, or pretending to be a family member or a friend who needs the funds for a specific store. So what you'll find in that case is that, just random calls. Remember, these are just random calls. They might call someone and say, hey, that Apple gift card that you have, you know what? You're going to have to pay an additional fee because the government believes that it's a fraudulent card and that you're in possession of it. So you have to pay this fee, and we work for Apple or we work for the government. They'll make it legitimate. They'll legitimize it by giving you a organization that you're familiar with. And then you have individuals who will pay this money because they don't want to be on the list. And then all of a sudden that money is now gone. And of course, when they try to follow up, they cannot get in touch with the individual that took the money. So just be aware of the various scams that are out there in terms of gift cards. I guess in the situation of the gift card with the fake barcode, you maybe just double check before you take it up to the cashier to make sure that it's a legitimate card. I'm not sure what the policy is, the store policy is for various stores when that happens. But obviously, if that does happen, you want to follow up with the store, let them know what happened, and see what their policy is for refunds or for, making the next steps to refund you the money in case that happens. And then in case of someone calling you, telling you that there's a penalty for the gift card that you have and you have to pay it, again, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, let me give you a call back. Can you give me a phone number? Do your own research. And then 10 times out of 10, if it's a scammer, they're going to tell you something like, you can't call us back. It's the only time we could call. Or they're going to give you a fraudulent number. When you call it back, it's going to be disconnected. So that's the second scam that happens or occurs during the holiday season on a more frequent basis. You have, number one, charity scams, individuals asking for money for a charity that you may know, and that can happen via text, phone call, or email. And then the second one, you have gift card scams, which is a huge issue because so many people use gift cards. A lot of these scams this is the reason why a lot of these scams are able to occur. The third one here is the package delivery scam. Now, I wasn't really too familiar with this, but just doing some research, basically what happens is that with the package delivery scam, and this is interesting how this works. So what happens is that you'll get a call saying that a package delivery is going to be made, right? So, and I'll read here, it says package delivery scams can also take the form of a voicemail message prompting you to call back to receive your delivery. The call can result in high connection fees, expensive per minute rates. So there are multiple layers to this. So with the package delivery scam, what happens is you'll receive a voicemail saying, hey, we have a package that's going to be delivered to you on December 24th. But in order for us to confirm that this is the right address, we need you to call us back at this number. When you call them back, it's usually a number that they're basically charging you to call them back. Based on the FCC put out an alert about this. They said oftentimes the number that they'll give you is a 809 area code, or oftentimes it's an international number. So again, I'm talking about this, and I know there might be people listening saying, well, this is, common sense. You would be surprised how many individuals are scammed this way. And it's really because, the scammers know that you're expecting these things, right? You're expecting a gift delivery or order delivery because it's the season to receive that. So your defenses are not as high as they would be, let's say in July, if someone called you just random about a delivery, right? So the scammers know this. This is why they're able to get away with this. And, it can lead to other fraudulent activity on your account. Now, again, this is just calling in and being charged for the call. They might also call and say, hey, in order for us to deliver this package, we need a fee from you, because often they'll ask for a fee. And then individuals will give a credit card, and then that one credit card fee might be recurring for 3-4 months, or it could be a one-time fee for thousands of dollars. I mean, there are story after story after story after story about this. So, again, doing this just to alert everyone, because it is the season for these scams. And so this is the purpose of the People's Voice, is to get information out, to raise awareness to some of these issues. That's basically what I wanted to cover today. It is imperative that during this season, enjoy family, enjoy friends, things of that nature, but please be aware of please be aware of any information that's sent to you unsolicited. Do your due diligence to follow up, and take the time. I'll have to call you back. Think about it before you make the decision of providing information, personal information and payment information to individuals that you are not familiar with. So as always, I do hope that this was informative and enlightening. If you want to further look into this, I would recommend going to the FTC, the Federal Trade Communication site. They have a ton of information on this. You could also go to your BBB, Better Business Bureau site to research some of the scams and some of the companies that have been listed as scammers. And then on the charity side, you can go to Charity Navigator to basically identify legitimate charities and the process that they use for collecting donations. So I do hope this information was enlightening. This purpose of the purpose of the People's Voice, as we always say, is to provide information so it can be shared and enlightening the entire community, family, and friends. So as always, this is my time. I appreciate you listening today. Dreams are not just for sleeping. Please wake up and live your dreams. My name is Trey Evans, the People's Voice. Tell somebody about the dream. Salute. People's Voice.